All right, man. Hang with Beatdrop podcast. We are on episode Episode 8,
baby.
Episode 8.
Yeah. Episode 8.
I'm multitasking. I'm everywhere today. I'm sorry.
But I feel it.
Hey, I apologize. These guys were waiting for me for like 3 hours. My bad.
3.5
Nah,
to be
it's all
exact.
good. It's all love.
Hey, there was some contact in the DMV and Nissan. Let me just tell you. But I'm faithful, bro. The devil is a lie.
Oh,
The
yeah.
devil is a lie. I looked away, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't gonna catch me. Not even imagine.
You stupid.
Nah, bro. I looked away.
Hey, man. We got a special guest with us today. George, also known as A Tribe Called Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
How you feeling,
I'm
Papa?
feeling good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, dog. And the reason why George is here is because he was like, yo, we got to talk some hip hop. We got to talk some of that good shit.
Yes.
And some albums came out. If you guys didn't know about it, you know what I'm saying?
Whole lot of albums.
Whole lot of albums.
Whole lot of
I still
albums.
got to catch up. I'm playing catch up right now.
Yo, too much.
You've been
music.
catching up all your life.
All right, George, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I've been writing for a website in the UK called The Word Is Bond for like 6 years now.
Ooh,
We do a lot of underground hip hop coverage. So album reviews, opinion pieces, just news, like if a new album comes out. Stuff like that. I go to shows all the time, event coverage, doing videos, photography, interviews. I recently interviewed Murs.
How was that?
So that was great.
What's the
It was a
vibe?
blast. Yeah, Murs is a
That's
cool
sick.
dude. We talked about his latest album back in March.
Uh-huh.
So it's going well, man.
That's dope, man. And you do like I know you do photography and videography. Like, how long you been doing that? Like, you've been doing that for like a long time, or like just something you kind of just
Yeah,
kind
but
of got into?
photography like 5 years, and
5
then
years.
videography more like 3.
3.
But I have a lot of Photoshop experience, like double, like 10 years.
Oh, shit.
So
Shit.
so
I
that
don't even got
stuff.
3 days. And I'm already like, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so having all that Photoshop experience, it kind of lended into going into photography and being able to edit those photos really well. So
Did you go to school for that, or you just
no, in high school I
In
took
high school?
graphics classes, and
Oh,
it just
shit.
kind of grew from there.
Hey, you know how people say patient is key? But do you really got to be patient
Yes.
with that shit?
Yes, bro.
Bro.
You gotta be so patient with Photoshop or Illustrator, InDesign. Like, I'm at a point now where I could like do anything on there. Like I could take a still image of us and put my head on all 3 of our bodies.
For real? Can you make us lose weight? Low-key?
real,
Yeah.
bro, 'cause
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
'Cause- Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Oh, we
'Cause
about
I
to
was
lose
like,
weight.
We could
about
do
to
that,
look
bro.
right.
We could do that.
Hey, I was sucking it in, bro, for the last 2
yeah, low key, I've been talking like this.
This is my good side.
Yeah, damn, that's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
And then, so after you start doing the whole Photoshop thing, you were like, yo, I want to start taking pictures. I kind of want to just start doing like everything as a
Yeah.
package.
Well, the way it happened was at The Word Is Bond, I have a co-writer, a co-editor out here. He lives in Long Beach, and he had a bunch of cameras. I didn't have one yet. And we would go to shows together and do coverage, and he would just do all the media stuff, and I would just be there taking notes, getting ready to do event reviews,
Oh,
like
shit.
post-show recap, stuff
Yeah.
like that. He's like, bro, you should do photos too, man. Here's my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Let me borrow it. I got into it, and from there, I was like, oh, I got to get my own.
Damn.
So it's just been going off 5 years now, almost 6 strong, like in
Damn,
October.
that's
So
sick.
Time, dude. That's a good. That's
Yeah.
a great beginning run.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
fucking
man.
tight. And then, so did you go to college? Or you didn't go to college?
no, I did.
You did go to
I did go
college?
to college. Yeah.
You went straight after high school, or
Yeah.
and then how did that go? Like, how was that experience? It was cool. Like, you did it for what it was.
Yeah, it took a while. Community college took a while specifically,
Yeah.
but then university came up super fast, like 2.5 years, whatever. But
Oh shit.
community college was whatever.
It was-
Took a long time, bro. It took way too long.
Took longer than you
Yeah,
expected.
it took a lot longer than I
Shit.
expected.
And then like after so obviously I know that you fucking like I don't even know what's the right word to say, but I know you're like a hip hop head. Like
Yeah.
I know you fucking you love
Heavy, bro.
breathe fucking hip hop and
Yes.
shit.
In
Is
my
that-
veins, bro.
Yeah, it's in your I can see it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like is that something
see
that
my
like
veins, bro.
you can see your veins?
Nah, that's a problem. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, can you
Hey,
Photoshop that, bro?
Hey, can you Photoshop? Hey, come on, man.
Yeah, bro.
See, hey, we gonna cut this.
Yeah,
We could
we'll
do
edit
that.
that.
We could do that.
And then like so was that like since literally from like birth, like that you just
Nah.
like yo like or what was it like what was the type of music you enjoyed in the beginning that kind of like made you go into hip hop?
Okay, so my parents didn't listen to any music at all. And I don't have any siblings, so there wasn't like an older
shit,
brother
bro.
or sister who's like passing it on.
Uh-huh.
Actually came through video games, which is funny. like the video game soundtracks. Like everybody knows,
Hell
like
yeah, bro.
everyone knows,
Hell yeah.
everyone knows like Grand Theft Auto has
Yeah.
crazy music, but it actually came from a game, NBA Street Volume 2.
Oh, is
and,
that the one where he has like a fro and he's
Yeah.
about to dunk it?
Yeah,
Sound like a cumbia.
exactly, bro.
From the beginning, it sounded like a cumbia. I was like, wait.
Exactly. They
that was
reminisce
my
over
shit.
you, bro.
Yes.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth. That was the first time I ever heard it,
Hell
and
yeah.
I was
so
that was
hard,
my
bro.
shit, bro. I was on
gone.
that game forever. Like forever.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like, dude, sometimes I want to sleep just playing that shit.
Was it
Yeah.
on Dreamcast? Was it? What was
That
it?
was on the GameCube,
GameCube.
PS2. I think
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
might have been on
PS2.
the Xbox as well,
Mhm.
but I had it on the GameCube.
GameCube.
And they had hits on there, bro.
Fire,
They had
dog.
House of Pain, Pete Rock remix.
Fuck.
De La Soul was on Volume 3, I believe. Me, Myself,
and I. Yeah, that shit was on there.
And that was just kind of where it exploded for me. I was just like in love with the They Reminisce Over You beat.
Like the sound.
just
it's
the horns, man. And on
Yeah.
on the game, it's the instrumental.
Yeah.
So I didn't know there was rapping on it until I went out of my way to look it up, and I was like, "Oh my god, like who is CL Smooth? This is crazy."
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like,
sick.
Yeah,
Damn, that's fucking tight. So before you were just playing video games pretty much. Like you
Yeah.
just love playing video games, and then when you heard that sound, you were like, "Yo, what is
I was
this?"
hooked. But it makes sense looking back, because outside of that, I really listened to Michael Jackson heavy.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, obviously, if you're into Michael Jackson, you're gonna
Yeah.
kind of steer
Yeah.
towards
Uh-huh.
hip hop. Especially like for me, I'm a big James Brown fan too, so it
Mhm.
just goes right in. Like
Yeah.
all that '80s hip hop sampling James
classic,
Brown.
bro.
King of samplers,
Yeah,
right
dog.
there.
Yeah,
And then, so pretty much, once you heard that sound, you were like, "Yo, this is dope." And then
Yeah.
at that point, were you just like, just doing your research, just checking it
Yeah,
out, just going
man.
into it? And then
I
that-
was so fascinated by hip hop.
yeah,
Just because it's like it's our own music in this country,
Mhm.
right? It's culturally ours,
Yeah.
just like jazz was,
right.
and it's something that we claim it's ours. You know, it didn't come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's all ours. And what I really appreciated was that it was so young.
Yeah,
Like, you know, like the people who started it in the Bronx, you know, they're still alive. Like
Yeah,
the people
dog.
who really did it, they're still there. You
So
could go
true.
there, you could meet them, and you could be like, "Yo, you started hip hop." And now we're at a point in, I think it was last year,
Mhm.
where they had said that hip hop's the highest grossing genre, period. Where it wasn't,
That's
but
dope.
it reached that landmark.
Oh, shit.
You know, so just for me to think about that, like, wow, like this is something that's new, and it's not in its infancy anymore, but
Yeah.
it's something that's still young. And we can't, like, we look at other genres and you can't say that.
yeah,
You know, like rock and roll's been
That's
around
true.
forever.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
can't meet
hell
the
yeah.
founder of rock and roll.
yeah. That is true. And I feel like also one thing with hip hop is like, once you're like an artist and you get older, like people be like, "Oh, he's old," and I feel like they don't really say that shit about like rock. Like it's
No.
just like they don't really say it, but like for hip hop, they'll be like,
In hip
"Oh,
hop,
he's
it's a big
washed."
deal.
And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when you started getting into hip hop, did you feel like wanting to like DJ or wanted to dance? Like what did you feel you wanted to do? Did you want to b-boy? Like
I want
what
to
was
be
it?
a rapper,
You
bro.
want to be a rapper?
100%,
You
man.
say
Yeah.
You would just do like random
Yeah.
flows in the
Yeah,
shower, and then you're
man.
like, I don't know.
All the time, man, or writing stuff down.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight.
But, you know, it didn't happen that way. But that's all right. That's all right.
You made your first song, you're like, oh, never mind. So then, like, okay, so when you were figuring out like the whole hip hop thing, like, was there like certain artists that it just spoke to you right away, where you
Yeah.
just fell in love with?
Yeah.
Like, any of those artists you could think on top of your head, like,
Oh, right away. Like initially, it was all East Coast stuff, like
East Coast.
Biggie, Mace, P Diddy for whatever reason. Probably because he was associated
Yeah.
with Mace and Biggie, DMX. I wasn't really big on Jay yet,
really?
like Jay-Z, but
Oh,
obviously
shit.
it did happen.
Yeah.
Nas especially.
Nas.
Oh, that's somebody I really want to talk about.
Yeah,
because
me
for
too.
me, honestly, he told
Mhm.
me like, yo, he knows a lot about Nas.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I know you probably gonna be like, oh hell no, but it came a time in my life when my brother, he killed Nas for me, like the
Yeah.
experience, because he'll have a song on replay, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about this motherfucker will
Over and
replay that
over.
shit like 100 times
Yeah.
a day, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, man, fuck Nas. But now that I actually, and I don't mean it,
He
bro.
said it. He said it.
Hey, it was him. No,
Yeah.
but my brother killed it so bad that I was like, bro, like I want to hear it, but then I know if I'm gonna hear it, he's gonna be like, play that shit again.
Yeah.
Play that shit one more time.
What
Yeah.
record was it?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to hear it, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
we're
that's
gonna
how
have to go
bad I
through a
want to
catalog.
remember it, bro. I don't want to remember that right
Yeah.
now, bro. But if you play it right now, I'll be like,
Yeah.
where did he go?
And did you like? And what about like West Coast artists? Did you like fuck with any
Yeah,
of them through
so-
time? Like,
Obviously, you know, Tupac,
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg, NWA, but I never really got like in terms of like conscious style
Mhm.
hip hop. it was more for me like the far side.
Mhm.
I didn't really like, for whatever reason, I can't get in like Souls of Mischief.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Just wasn't for you.
Yeah, just
Not
to
your
this
vibe.
day, I can't get into it. But
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing that, or like the hieroglyphics,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But
Were you into like Dilated Peoples and stuff?
yeah,
Jurassic
Dilated's
5,
great.
all that?
Jurassic 5,
Power-
man.
Oh,
Yes.
It's crazy, dog. And then, so how did you come up with? Obviously, I know you fucking love A Tribe Called Quest. So how did that come about? Were you just like looking for a name for yourself, or were you just like kind of like, yo, like, how can I make my stamp in the hip hop community? Like, how did that come about?
That's a funny question, man. Nobody's ever asked me that, actually. Okay, so I have a Tumblr, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had like a personal one, and then I started seeing people. I was following people who were posting just exclusively hip hop stuff and mostly vintage stuff. So like old school photos of Big L or whatever, freestyles. And I realized that these aren't these people's personal pages. They like created one just for hip hop.
Right.
And so I thought, I was like, wow, like I could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put my own spin on it, where I would take photos that already existed of people like a Flying Lotus or whoever I was into at the time, and I would really like heavily edit them, like stylized, you know what I mean? And then I would post them up, so it was like original, even though I was kind of jacking other people's work.
Putting your own like flavor
I
to
put
it.
my own spin on it.
Yeah.
And so I named that blog A Tribe Called Hip Hop.
That's tight.
And that's like kind of how it started. And I actually reached a funny milestone over the weekend. I hit 25,000 followers on there.
Hey,
I appreciate that, man.
Let's get it.
I appreciate
Hell
that.
yeah.
But it didn't really occur to me like, yo, I gotta put this on Instagram, or I gotta put this on Twitter or Facebook, whatever. It just lived on Tumblr forever.
That's sick,
up until last year. I really was like, no, I need to move to Instagram too.
Mm-hmm.
So now everyone is associating that with like, oh, you're A Tribe Called Hip Hop. I see your shit. That's cool.
That's pretty tight though.
Yeah, bro.
That's sick. Like A Tribe Called Hip Hop. Like it's funny because like when I saw your Instagram the first time when we met, you were like A Tribe Called Hip Hop. I was like, yo, that shit's fucking hard.
Yeah,
like,
I remember you told me.
Yeah, I was
bro.
like, yo, that shit's tight, dog. And then fucking all right. So new albums that just came out. Obviously, Nas, Pusha T, Ye. Fucking
Kids See Ghost,
and
then
Tiana Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I
and
haven't
then-
listened to it. I know you said you listened to it.
keep that same energy.
Yeah,
Or keep the same
yeah,
energy.
something like that. Yeah, like
KTSE. That's what they're calling it.
so. What's good, bro? What do you got to say about the album so far?
Wait. Before we get into that, I was looking through your Instagram, bro.
Creep.
man.
He's a creep.
He was creeping
Get
last
him.
night. Nah, bro, but you gotta tell me something about this eardrum. This was your first post, and it must have meant something to you, because that's how you started.
Oh,
Instagram
you were
off.
scrolling.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, you were-
you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, this goes in hand with what I was saying. I think it's last year that the date is on that, right? It might be.
Yeah, it says August 21st, 2016.
So okay, so almost 2 years ago now. That's actually not the first one I did. The very first one I did was DJ Premier Royce the 5'9" Prime,
You heard it here first.
and that was 2014. And I have like a series. I call these like the hip hop classic series posts. I don't really have a title for it, but what it is I post them up and I do
Can I see
mini.
that? Let me see.
Yeah,
here, check
what
it
it is I do mini reviews, and I'll tell you like what my favorite records are
Oh
from it.
yeah, these are
Just
tight.
something like that, and that's
You
my
got
own
Lauryn
thing.
Hill. I started
have-
watching. You got like a couple.
I have all of them, really.
Yeah.
Like that, I haven't even posted. There's still so many, and I like to try and post them up on the anniversary dates.
oh
but
shit, that's pretty.
In that particular case, that one, it just happened that I had made the account. I was sitting on it forever. I just
Yeah.
wanted to keep the name. I didn't want anybody to jack my Tribe Called Hip Hop name.
Ooh, okay.
So I had the
Yeah.
Instagram, but nothing on it.
That's
and then I
smart.
was like, you know what? I'm going to just go for it. And if you look at that feed from there, it's just all album posts.
Yeah, that's just hard.
That's what it
though.
is.
Classics too.
So like,
yeah, I was looking at that. I'm telling you, he has like
this
those
is
are
hard.
bangers, bro.
and then I was like, well, I'm more than just this. So I need to start sharing like the images I take at shows or videos, things like that. So that is what started it. And those posts are really popular on the Tumblr page where I have a lot of followers. But really,
Yeah.
I try and go in depth on these and just give people like why they're special to me.
yeah.
It just so happens that a lot of people agree that they're classics.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
Yeah.
dope. No,
Yeah.
this is
Sure.
sick, man. Like, and then a lot of these like records, did you just buy them through time? Like,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
collect them through time? Damn, that's.
I
sick.
still buy CDs.
For
No,
real?
yeah, I
Yeah,
still do,
so-
bro. Amoeba, that's what.
Amoeba. That's what I was gonna ask you.
Amoeba.
Like, do you go to Amoeba?
Yeah,
Like,
all the time, bro.
like out
It's
of the
dangerous.
month, how many times you go in there?
Yeah, it is dangerous.
At least once. At least
Bro,
once a month.
I like that.
You gonna max out your credit card when you go
Bro,
over there, bro. You gotta be careful,
it's
dog.
dangerous.
Yeah, bro.
From experience,
It's
I
one of
know,
these like,
dog.
oh, this one looks cool, and it's
Bro,
one,
yep,
and by the
yep.
end of an hour, you got like 10.
Yeah,
CDs,
yeah,
2
dude.
vinyls
And the thing is,
shit.
yeah, the thing is too, bro, is like you start seeing shit and you're like, yo, I don't have this. Yo, I don't
Yep.
have that. And you're like, bro, next you just going and going. And
Yeah.
you're like, all right, the total is 346. You're like,
Swipe.
oh, you're like, hey, let me
put a couple back.
Yeah, yeah, no, never mind. I don't
really
need this one.
though.
Yeah, like that. Bro, this is sick, man. But yeah, bro, I see you have fucking Mos Def,
Yeah,
Nas.
Yeah, bro.
This
I was
is-
creeping last night. He's all like, "Did you follow me?" Hey, before he was like, "Did you follow me?" I was like, "Was it a cute guy?" And he said, "Yes."
Yeah.
But like that. He was solid. He was a song.
That's dope, man. And then like so obviously when you start doing your photography, like were you pretty like geeked out once you started like taking pictures of these artists that you
Yeah.
like were listening to for a long time?
Big time, bro.
That's fucking tight.
I've had the
man.
opportunity to meet several of them, like my heroes.
Yeah.
Like Pharoah Monch was a big one. I
Oh.
got to meet Common. I've met like 2 or 3 times.
And how is he? Comment.
Common's so cool, man.
Yeah?
So humble, down to earth. He'll take the time to say what's up to you and check
Oh,
in with
shit.
you. He's not like Mr. Superstar, you know.
I want to meet him.
and I
bro.
think that's the best feeling
Yeah.
too, when like the people that you fuck with and like they're super cool.
Yeah.
It's like, cause I always feel like, damn, like if you like for me, it's like, yo, if I meet Hove and he's just like, yo, get away from me, I'd be like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Yeah.
but that's super
You'd be
sick.
sick, bro.
Yeah, I'll be sick to my
Yeah.
stomach, dog. But yeah, man, going back to Nas, Jay, all these amazing projects, like, what are you 2 cents, man? Like, what are you fucking with right now? Where do you rank them as of now? You know what I mean?
Of the kids, of the
Yeah.
good music
Yeah, the
drops,
good
or are we
music.
throwing Jay in there
Should we throw Jay? What do you think? Should we throw it in?
I mean, you got to. I
yeah,
think you do.
Yeah, let's just throw it.
Just
let's
throw in all the big dogs.
Yeah,
in
let's just
there.
throw it. Let's just throw it in. Oh, you know what? Nah, not yet. Let's not throw
Let's
it in.
save it?
Yeah, let's save it. Let's
Okay.
save it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because then we got to talk about all the other albums that came out. You got Cole and all this other stuff. Then
Right.
let's just talk about
Black Panther
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
Oh,
That shit was
yeah.
crazy.
J Rock's album.
Oh,
That shit hit me out of nowhere. I was like,
Yeah, bro. J Rock shit was tight. That
Yeah.
shit was cool. All right, so good music. What do you think, bro? Where do you got number one? Last one, what's up? Like,
Number 1, I'm putting Nasir up there.
you putting Nasir?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
because I have been waiting for so long for Nas to drop. 6 years since Life is Good.
6 fucking years.
That's
dog.
a long time, bro.
since his last album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6.
dog.
And
Bro.
I thought The Incredibles was a long time. That shit was like a long time too.
Yeah.
Right?
Nasir, dog. Fuck. And then
Yeah.
what are like your favorite songs off the project that you could just think of right now? That,
Cop Shot the Kid.
Cop Shot the
White
Kid.
Label. Bonjour, of course. Adam and Eve.
yeah, dog. That shit got some sick
Hey,
shit,
All
dog.
those songs, bro. That does it. Actually, the songs that I actually have
Right?
replay now.
Right?
Those shits are.
They're hard.
Okay.
And then what do you got next? Well, after Nasir, what
I
do
would
you
put Daytona.
Daytona?
Yeah.
Daytona's hard, bro. Pusha came with it, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, that's one of those you ever know when you like you eat an edible and shit, you're like, oh, this shit didn't hit me, and then you seen that meme and shit when they come behind a brick, like, psych, bitch, I'm here. Like,
George is like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
but
but
I
I'm
get,
getting
but
you.
I
get
feel
the,
you.
I get the analogy, bro.
But I feel you.
yeah, bro. It's one of those was like, psych, bitch, I'm here.
I wasn't checking for Pusha T. I
Nah.
can't say I like the Clips records that they
Mhm.
had put out, but Pusha T solo stuff never hooked me like that. So
So to listen to that
Daytona?
project was just
wow,
crazy.
I mean, just the way Kanye had announced the rollout on Twitter, and
Mhm.
it was just, oh yeah, Pusha T, we're doing Tiana Taylor,
Mhm.
and then by the way, we're doing Nas too. You know, like
Yeah, I feel
it was
like,
like,
I was like,
what?
what the fuck?
Nas?
Yeah.
I think this motherfucker autocorrect, bro.
Yeah,
He better go
dog.
check that shit
Bro,
because he
right?
ain't gonna play with my feelings
Bro,
like
I'm
that.
serious.
Yeah.
When like it's crazy because like when I saw that tweet, I was like, yo, like it's you said 6 years, right?
Yeah,
That's a long time, bro. And it's like to think the fact that like he came with this album, and I love the album, bro. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, like I was a little nervous because like when I listened to it, I was like, man, I hope it's good.
yeah.
And when I heard Cop Shot the Kid for sampling that slick Rick,
Slick Rick.
bedtime story, like I was like, bro, like that shit is crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And when you heard Pusha T, were you kind of like surprised and like right away, or were you just kind of like you kind of know he was gonna come with some bars, but were you kind of surprised about like how overall like it was good, just the project
Yeah.
overall?
Lyrically, I knew it was gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never questioned Pusha T's ability on the mic, but it just, for whatever reason, it never clicked with me. Like, oh, I'm checking for Pusha T like that. But
Yeah.
I think just with the way the rollout was, I was
Mhm.
like, Kanye's producing a whole album.
Yeah.
We never had that before.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna check for this Daytona.
Yeah.
You know, and when it came out, bro, like every record goes.
That is so
Every
true.
record.
Bro.
The games we play, Santeria we were listening to.
So hard,
I mean,
bro.
hard piano with Rick Ross, you know,
Dog,
like
that shit is so crazy. And then what song was it where he threw like a jab? at
Infrared. Yeah.
How do you feel about all that? Like the whole
It's
like
so
beef?
good.
Okay,
Like,
before this beef, what was actually another beef before this one that actually caught your eye and your attention?
With Drake or
with
just
anybody in
general?
hip hop and just in particular?
Honestly, I wasn't checking for any of them.
yeah.
So this was like a traditional hip hop like beef. Like we
Yeah.
hadn't really seen it like that,
Yeah.
at least on that scale. So I can't really say. Like I guess the other one was like Drake and Meek Mill,
Yeah.
but that
I gotta
wasn't.
do my boy Meek like that.
But that wasn't even like.
You know he just got out of prison.
You know, shout out, shout out to Meek, but
Nah, yeah.
I never thought like, oh, Meek Mill's got lyrics like that
yeah.
to go bar for bar with Drake. So
Like so when Drake came at him with back because it was charged up the first one and then I think it was back to back.
yeah,
He wasn't a good ride, bro. Like you know the
Yeah.
whole MMG movement was doing their thing, like they were doing, and it just kind of like took like a little step back, you know.
You know who else? Remy Ma, right? She did Sheether.
Yeah.
Yo,
You fuck with it?
Sheether was hard, bro.
You fuck with it?
Yeah,
Yeah?
that was hard, man.
Speaking about Sheether going into Ether, what do you think? Nas won that.
Dude, I gotta go Ether.
you gotta go-
man.
you gotta go
I
Ether?
love Takeover too. I love Takeover, but I gotta go Ether.
You gotta go Ether.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm just because I'm a big Hov fan. It's
I know.
hard for
I know.
me.
I'm wearing the Jay-Z hat
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wearing
But
the
it's hip-hop, you feel me?
I'm
It's
wearing the
hip-hop.
444
Yeah,
hat right
yeah.
now, but I'm going Ether
Yeah,
all
I gotta
the
get
way.
myself one of those. He got one of those.
Yeah.
He got one of those.
Go to Swami, bro. It might not say 444.
It might say
but-
434.
Yeah,
and be like,
yeah.
oh,
It might say 818, but you get it for $16. You feel me?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. But you see, that's the thing about me, bro. Like obviously, I wasn't. How long ago did that come out? Ether and like Takeover. It must have been forever. But I feel like it's one of those
Yeah.
like beefs that everybody talks about. You know what I mean? But like.
Legendary.
Yeah, it's legendary, bro. Like I feel like before this whole Pusha T Drake shit and Meek Mill and all that, like there wasn't
It was
really
quiet.
Like it was kind of
It
quiet.
was.
I feel
Yeah.
like everybody was just trying to get in their own and not worry about that shit.
I was hearing crickets for a minute.
You feel
Yeah.
like that's good, like that there's beef in hip hop, or do you feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
or do you feel like it should kind of be like in between? What do you think?
Nah, competition's good.
Yeah.
We're all sharpening our swords, you know,
That's
at that
true.
point.
I like that.
Yeah.
Get those blades sharp.
But it should always be to a point where at least just keep it on the records.
Just keep it on wax.
Yeah, keep it on wax, bro. You gotta keep it on wax.
Let the music speak for itself.
Yeah, you got to, man.
Okay, now that we're talking about that, I want to ask you. So, you know what's the next album dropping, right? It's Drake's. So, do you think? Let me ask you. Do you think he's gonna maybe hit a jab bag, or you think it's done?
I think if he says anything, it's gonna be like subliminal disses. It's not
But
gonna
not
be.
like a diss
He's not
record.
gonna say Pusha T's name. I could be wrong though, and I
Should
kind of
he?
and I hope I am wrong.
Yeah.
I hope he does. But then that other stuff came out with what was his name, Jay Prince, saying pulling Drake
Oh,
back,
yeah.
like, oh, don't do that.
How do you feel about that? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's whack.
yeah.
I think that's why. I think that makes Drake look weak.
Mm.
I think the whole situation's weird. Like he put out a statement, the
Yeah.
first hip hop beef statement we've ever had.
I was like, what? And honestly, for me, I didn't understand the statement.
Right.
I had to read that shit like 30 times.
Well, like he was
and
using
look
big
at the
words.
picture like 5. I was like,
It
huh?
was almost him just saying,
Is this an
"Hey,
apology?
I'm apologizing for the picture, and we're not talking about the music. Just the picture was a bad look for me."
Yeah.
And bro, I mean, the first line in that, I could be wrong, but I think the first line is like, "I know you guys are enjoying the circus."
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
so he knows it was bad, and it's
Yeah.
really a bad look for him.
Like,
Just
allegations?
attacking his
Yeah, like-
character,
yeah,
his
bro.
family, his
Like-
mom. Well, not his mom, but his dad on that
Not
record.
just that everything's falling into place and people are finding out the stuff like the
Right.
baby mama, the baby, his dad doesn't even know he's a grandfather now.
Right.
Like all that starting falling into
The
place.
picture,
The
like
picture. So you think you actually think that's part of like, yo, so I'm more of this side because everything he said is falling into place, or should I wait till the album comes out so I could low key make my pick, or is it in between where it's already too late?
I think it's too late.
Yeah.
I think the damage has been done, but
Yeah.
at the same time, people are still gonna get the record. It's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
He's gonna have another Hotline Bling on there
Yeah.
or whatever. People are gonna forget. The people
Yeah.
who aren't really ingrained in hip hop culture like that,
Yeah.
they don't care.
they just want to.
They just want to dance.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, does it ultimately damage him or his legacy? No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think this Scorpion's gonna come out. It's gonna be a smash. It's gonna get to the top. It's gonna break
Yeah.
streaming records.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's breaking streaming records.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that it's a double disc too. So
Oh yeah, I've been seeing
We'll
that
see.
shit. I feel that right now that Drake's album's gonna come out. I was telling Raj about this. I was like, I feel that like now it's kind of where you're in like you're waiting for the album to come out, but yet a part of you is waiting for a disc to come out with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not really going like, yo, Drake's gonna drop an album. Yo, hopefully
you want the reply.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all you
that's the
care
thing.
You
about.
just want to hear,
Yeah.
but not just that. You know how Prince was telling him like, "Yo, back off." I really want to hear that track. To hear, even if the beef is over, I would love to hear.
Yeah.
But not just that. The thing that you know how most rappers after they get done with, they're like, "Yo, it's done for him." Do you think is that for Drake?
No.
Right?
I don't
No.
think that could ever
I
happen.
think that's just one. I honestly
He's too
think
big.
that's one
Yeah.
of the persons that I'd be like, he took it. I don't know. If, would you
I would
say
say he took an L, yeah.
Okay, so he took an L, and now it's like, yo, is he gonna come back, bounce back on some Big Sean shit?
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't matter for him. He's too big. Like the marketing push behind him, it's a machine.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. His album's gonna hit number 100%.
Because when I think about beefs that even were that took a major hit, I think of even like 50 Cent and like Ja Rule and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that
Took a
shit.
hit.
Oh my!
But I
But
don't
where
know.
is Ja Rule now?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, he's
where it's
owned by
like,
50 Cent.
50
Motherfucker bought him off.
50
gets the
still
strap.
50 still relevant.
Yeah.
Not necessarily musically, but you know
Yeah.
he has his TV
His
show
businesses,
Power,
all that.
the businesses. He's still just as relevant and making more money than he was when he was
Even
in
with
his
the new
prime.
rappers,
Right.
I don't know if you kept up with
Yeah.
it, but even with the new rappers, he's still like really there.
Yeah.
Dog.
So
It's
Ja Rule may be the one that fell off. But I don't know.
That's the only one that we're like,
He
like
fucked up by letting Little Chris get
Yeah.
that Too Fast, Too Furious gig. I'm telling you that right now.
Big time.
Oh, he should have
Big
got to
time.
that audition, huh?
No, bro. You know, he said he didn't want to do it because he
Something
was too
like-
big for it.
Bro.
Bro.
Oh, because he came out in the first one.
Yeah,
He was like, Monica.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
After that, Monica did too.
Yeah,
Little
Monica
Chris.
was like, peace. Oh, damn,
shit.
man.
It's cool. 50
Oh,
got
fuck.
it back.
But going back to, going back to the other albums that came out. So Kid Cudi, you fuck with Kid Cudi's album?
Yeah.
You fuck with it?
I'm not a huge Cudi fan. I can't say
Yeah.
that I ever have been, but I respect the album. Kids See
fuck with
Ghosts
it?
is a dope record.
Yeah, it is pretty sick. What would you name? Would you name it like an alternative album?
Well, it's blending a
Hip-hop?
lot. It's
Yeah.
like hip hop, there's rock and roll.
Mhm.
The choruses are really dope. I
Yeah.
mean, Ty Dolla $ign really killed it on, I think it's Free.
It's free.
Ghost Town Part 2.
Ghost Town Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job, you know.
He did do a great job, bro. What album are we missing? We said Nasir.
Nasir number 1.
Nasir number. So
Daytona number
So you have
2.
Nasir number 1.
Yeah.
You have Daytona number 2.
Yeah.
And what do you have for number 3?
Number 3 I'd put Yay.
And what are your favorite songs off the record? Like
I mean, Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Wouldn't Leave is good.
Wouldn't Leave.
The Violent Crimes, the last
Violent
track
Crimes.
on the album. I mean, it's
That
just
shit was
different.
catchy as fuck.
It's
I was just like,
different.
Mhm.
I was stuck for a minute, bro. I had to replay that shit twice, and I was like, okay, it's a little
Yeah.
something different, but
Yeah.
it's him, bro.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that it's sort of a message to his. Well, he has 2 daughters now.
Mhm.
I like that. It's
Yeah.
different.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
And so you have that for number 3,
Yeah.
and then for number 4 you have.
Honestly, after last night, I would put Tiana Taylor's at number 4.
So you heard it already.
I
haven't-
heard it.
haven't
I heard it twice.
How
last
is that?
Yeah, how is it? Like, 'cause I
Bro.
haven't checked it out.
Yeah,
Kanye, man, he saved the best beats for Tiana Taylor. Like, what?
For real?
I feel like he did. I really feel like he did. I
gotta
don't know
check
what
that shit
any
out,
of those
man.
records are called because, you know, obviously at the listening party, they're just streaming it.
Yeah,
I
they're
couldn't
just
hear
playing
them. But there was at least 3 or 4 beats where I was like, what is happening right now? These beats are crazy. One of them, he had a sped up soul sample like he used to do on College Dropout, like that era.
Bro, what the fuck?
Man, he said some bangers. He's like, you
Yeah.
know what? You gonna get the good.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
Like, you know, I said off camera, you know, before we were
Yeah.
recording, I was like, yo, he wasted those beats on Tiana Taylor.
Why
You know,
you gotta do it like that, George?
He said that.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
40 fingers. He said it.
It's a good album, and
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, she came through and killed it.
Yeah.
She did a great job. I
Mhm.
can't knock her for that. I just, whoa, she got those beats.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, man.
And then, so you put Cudi's project last?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
not, but I like it. The weird thing is, none of these albums are bad.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a level of quality that's consistent among all 5 of them.
Mhm.
So, putting it at 5th place for me, I mean, everyone's list is gonna
Yeah.
be different, but for
Mhm.
me, like,
It's not even-
I
it's
just
not a
didn't
bad thing,
connect
yeah.
with it. I didn't connect with it in that way. Although, Fourth Dimension is really dope.
Yeah,
That's my favorite record. Like, it's so good.
And are you happy of the work that Nas made on this album? Because what are some of your Nas's like favorite projects that you could just
I mean, obviously, Illmatic.
Illmatic.
You gotta say Illmatic.
Yeah,
It was written.
Mm-hmm.
Still,
I'm glad that wasn't the song he had on replay.
Your bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
I mean, you gotta talk about Hip Hop Is Dead. Just at the time when it came out, it meant something to the culture for Nas to be saying Hip Hop Is Dead. Life Is Good, which was his previous album, incredibly strong album.
Crazy,
so,
dog. Would you put Nasir up there, top 5 for you, or do you feel like it's too soon?
it's too soon.
Too soon.
It is too soon, but it has the potential.
Yeah.
You had said it's kind of on the cusp
Like
of getting in there. It would just
in the
sneak
hunt.
in.
It's like right when you make playoffs. You feel me?
And I think what holds it back is it's so short.
Yeah.
7 tracks. I mean, there's so much like I wanted from Nas, you know, and not that I didn't get it, I just got it in a different way with this.
That's true.
And so maybe if it was a 10-track album, you know, maybe it's more clearly defined, like, oh yeah, it's top 5.
And then Jay-Z's album was 10-track, right? The one with Beyonce?
It was either 10 or 9.
10 or 9. How do you feel about that album? Like, were you excited when it came out, or were you just kind of like...
Bro, I was in the pool when it came out. Like I said,
cool,
I had my Apple Watch on, and I got a notification. I was like, what?
You're like,
the Carters? Like, what is this? Yeah.
Wait, that's the first time they've ever done that. I like
a
collab.
collab?
So like the Carters or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's crazy, bro, because I really enjoyed 444. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you enjoyed it. We always talk about that. Like, I really enjoyed 444 a lot. So, like, to be honest, I never really knew how I felt about a Beyonce and Jay project. I was a little scared. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want, like, because I'm a big Jay fan, so I didn't want him to be on records that like
weren't Jay-Z recorurs.
Yeah, exactly. So I was
knee slappers.
Yeah, bro. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay, like let's go. And I'm gonna say, dog, like the production and everybody involved in that record, man, is dope, man. I think I could really say that it's really good. Now that I got more time to listen to it, like I really love, what is it, Ape shit. I really love the what's 713, and I think it's Black Effect, the one by Cool and Dre. Like that, the production on those shits are crazy, dog.
Bro,
it's fucking sick.
I think for like the power couple of this like hip hop generation and stuff, that's like one of the best.
You think so?
Bro, even in general. Yeah. Not just hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of transcend that.
You know what I like that they do, bro, is that the fact that, you know, Lemonade came out, and that's when like the whole like conversation
Their Dirty Laundry came out. And then 444 came out and was like the response of, and
this
his
is what
side
happened.
Of the story,
this is what happened. And you know, like, I know you said that when you went to the Jay-Z concert when he performed Smile. Yeah. Like, I know those records, when he performs them, it must mean a lot to him. Like, speaking from the heart, you know? Yeah. And then you have this, Everything is Love. Everything is Love, where they're pretty much both going like, yo, you know, this is what happened. We good
here
now.
We are. We're still standing.
We getting it right.
I've seen people call it like a trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, the first, the second, and the third. This is the final chapter or whatever. But I wasn't expecting an album.
Me neither.
So it's different. I mean, it's not that they haven't done records before.
Yeah.
One of her classic records is Crazy in Love, right? So and Jay is on that.
Yeah.
But I had no expectations going in. I was like, I don't know.
Do you feel like a lot of people would take this album well because it's pretty much like saying that they're good? Or do you feel like some people will probably be like, nah, we want to hear some more Lemonade type records? What do you think? You think it's pretty much in between?
I saw memes when it dropped of people putting out like this dude going like this, and it was like me waiting for Jay-Z's verses to get over with so I can get to Beyonce. You know, and
that shit hurts me.
And I felt the other way around. I was like, me waiting for Beyonce to get over with so I can get to Jay-Z. You know,
bro.
But I think it pleases both sides.
Yeah,
and certainly there's people who are fans of both. I can't say like that I'm a big Beyonce fan, but you can't
all the single ladies.
You can't not respect her work though. Her catalog is crazy.
It's crazy. It is. And how do you feel about, you know, the current state of hip hop, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I think it's so great right now.
You think it's great?
I think, you know, we have the dudes who, you know, the dreadhead dudes and the multicolored stuff going on over there that are in some ways degrading the culture. Musically, it's not strong. But then you have other guys who are mainstream and they have that light. You know, you do see a Kendrick Lamar come out and his album smashes, right? Yeah. And he actually has messages in his music, or J. Cole or Joey Badass. Yeah. Like there are people who are really like carrying that torch for hip hop. And I feel like when they drop music, the culture gets better.
Right.
And obviously the OGs, right? We have Nas, we have Jay-Z. Jay-Z's almost 50.
Let's talk a little bit about generations. You think we're spoiled? Like, I'm talking about 80s, 90s, and 2000s, 2010s, and plus.
Spoiled
like,
in what way? Like,
dude, we have like some hard ass shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
and now like the new generation, when they hear it, they'll be like, "Oh, that's cool," but I'm into this like dreadlock shit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's on them. They don't know yet.
Like, dude, we have like some top notch potential.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
That's why I'm all like, damn. Sometimes
It's a
like,
good problem to
yeah,
have.
no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah,
Believe me,
yeah,
I'm not
that's a
saying
good
it's
point,
bad.
yeah.
I'm just saying it's like, wow, like the
Do you
music.
do you
nowadays,
mean like when you say that like we're not appreciating it as much, or like what do you mean?
in some way? That's how I feel sometimes.
see.
In some way,
Yeah, I think so.
there's like we're expecting like more.
Yeah.
But low key, we gotta appreciate like what we already had. You feel
I
me?
think like with the Nasir album, like people it dropped. They're like, oh, it's not Illmatic.
Yeah, that's the thing
So-
too. Like I feel like people just gotta enjoy the ride, bro. Because it's like, yo, like if you really think about it, like you were saying, dog, like we have a lot of different type of music going on. You know, you have Kendrick, you know, you have Jay that dropped, you know, these albums. And you got I feel like there's music for everybody, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't like, for example, if you don't like listening to Lil Pump, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people
Exactly.
that like to listen to Lil Pump. If you don't like to listen to J. Cole, that's fine, because then you know what I'm saying, like there's music for everybody, and I
right.
think that's good to have right now. You know what I'm saying?
I think in the past we didn't have that.
yeah,
I think a lot of the stuff that people, hip hop heads didn't like was only in the limelight. And right now everything is getting like a fair chance.
yeah,
So you have your Lil Pumps, but then you also have Kendrick Lamar. But they both have the platform and the ability to get that same shine. Whereas in the early 2000s, a conscious rapper like Common didn't blow up until he really got co-signed by Kanye, right?
yeah, that's true.
I mean, he had already a solid catalog of albums and classics that people would
Yeah.
consider, but it wasn't really until he got attached to Kanye and then getting put on the Dave Chappelle show that we really started to see
Chappelle
him.
Was it Kanye or John Wick?
John Wick. What you talking about?
You never seen the movie John Wick? I'm fucking with you. Hey, but he came out on John Wick, bro.
I was like,
John Wick is a
Wick.
hard ass movie. That's what I'm
I
saying.
believe you, bro.
Yeah,
I haven't
that
seen
shit
it though. I
hard.
haven't seen it.
I haven't heard of no John Wick,
Oh,
dog.
that shit is fire, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's when everybody started knowing about Kanye. Not like that, imagine.
Dog, I'm so happy that you stopped by.
Of
and
course, man.
You talked a lot of great points of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like any new artists that you're kind of listening to that maybe we're not familiar with, or anything that like any artist that you like that maybe haven't got a lot of shine yet.
Not really a new artist, but I wouldn't say he's crossed over yet. He's like in people, like in the minds of people. There's this guy called Odyssey from Brooklyn.
I gotta check. I haven't heard of Odyssey.
Lyrics, man, insane lyrics, really meaningful stuff, kind of conscious style hip hop, but really, really dope. He put out a project called Iceberg.
Iceberg.
You should check it out.
And his name is Odyssey.
Yeah.
Okay, Odyssey.
Oddisee.
That's fucking
Yeah.
sick. And before we finish this episode, I know that you really fuck with video games like heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
So obviously I know that's what got you into hip hop to begin
Yeah.
with. You know what I'm saying? Like any what are you playing right now? Are you into like, I know I'm it's like a fucking must be a cliche question, but are you into like Fortnite and all that stuff?
I
like,
play Fortnite not that much, but I do play it. I play it on Nintendo Switch. It's
Nintendo
cool.
Switch.
I have played it on the Xbox that I have
Yeah.
at home as well, but now that it came to the Switch, I'm like, it feels new to me again.
Yeah.
You know. Other than that, waiting for Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
the end of
that is
this
true.
year.
Super Smash Brothers. That's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
That's gonna be big, man.
and you have all the systems? Like,
all
you
of
have-
them. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I know you fuck with video games heavy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. What are you playing right now?
I play FIFA, Fortnite, H1Z1,
Ooh.
Grand Theft Auto, Madden.
When we getting Grand Theft Auto 6, man?
Hey, bro, that's
When's
what
that
I'm
happening?
talking about. Shit,
Fuck. I heard was Grand Theft Auto 5 was the last one that came out, right?
Yeah.
I heard that shit took like years to make.
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
Because it's like it's based on like LA, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
It
called
is
different-
LA,
It is
bro.
LA.
They
It's
call
different.
it Los Santos.
Santos.
Los Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah. That shit's tight, dog. Damn. And then, bro, you got to get your video game podcast, bro.
I do, man.
The reason I'm putting you on the spot is so that you could make it public and that you could fucking do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We got to get you right. So then we'll go in there and then I'll be talking about playing Super Nintendo or something.
Oh,
you know what I'm
dude,
saying? That'd
I
be
agree.
tight.
That'd be a good collab.
Did you get the
the
Super,
mini?
The mini?
Yeah.
It's fucking
I have the
tight.
Super Nintendo and the original, the NES. the one with the square controllers.
Yeah.
We got them all, man.
It's a classic, man. But bro, thank you so much for
Of
stopping
course,
by.
man.
Any shout outs you got? Anybody you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, shout out my brother Jose.
What's up, Jose?
What's up,
Let me give you.
Jose?
Let me give you. Oh, he's like,
Yeah, he's right here. He's in the
Yeah,
building
yeah.
right now.
He's doing our digital team right now.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, shout out to our people at Power 106.
That
you
is
know.
true. Shout out to the Power fam.
Shout out to my Word is Bond family.
Word is Bond.
If you guys are watching, I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Harvey. Shout out to Eric.
Boom. There
Yeah.
it is, man. George, A Tribe Called Hip Hop.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
absolutely. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
having me, man.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for having me.
We out.